The contemplative approach to skydiving has proven itself to me to be the best path, you know. And that was not the norm. When I
It was not
started,
the northern.
it was all like toxic masculine, shaming people and all kinds of horrible stuff left over from the baggage of our roots, the military, the army in particular, that started the sport. I mean, there was the military stuff, but they were the guys that built the drop zones. They were military. They got out and they wanted to, avoid getting a real job. So they started our sport, but they kept the same attitude. And we're finding that that gets us up to a certain level of prowess in the sport and not beyond. And if you interview any of the really, talented skydivers who have done very, very well in competition or in instruction and things like that, they figured this out on their own. That if you can get people to be physiologically calmer, then their mind can be calmer, and then it can see the clear path, the way through it, the flow state, right, is what it's
Yeah.
called. You can nurture the flow state, but it starts with the body. It has to. That was William James' assertion, is that the state of the body forms the context of the thoughts. So you can think of it metaphorically as the soil from which the plant grows. And so different thoughts will evolve based on a different context, right? And so I just recently put a bunch of lime in my garden because I realized that my soil was too acidic. Changed the outcome in a day. In a day, I saw the plants growing differently. And so if we realize that our mindset is too acidic, we got to do something about it because the plants are going to be stunted. The thoughts, the visualizations, and the flow and grace with which we execute our plan. The degree to which we remember it, the degree to which we can modify it in the moment. We're less surprised and shocked when we're already kind of cool, in a cool mindset. So he was absolutely validated. It took years for the science to sort of catch up to what his intuition, his introspection had realized, is that if you're worried, breathe slower. If you're worried, move slower. Relax your body as you move, that kind of thing. And it changes literally I call it the distribution of electrical wealth within the mind, within the brain itself. And so we have more of us present in the moment when we're less afraid because the body wasn't taxed in readying itself for an onslaught of grizzly bears to attack us or something, because that's all that stuff was designed for. You know, that's what the limbic system is for, is, you know, afterburners, where there's very little thought, very little compassion, no communication, and no ability to visualize outside of the given data. So we can't picture the parachute coming out of line twists when it's in line twists when we're freaking out. But if we can just soothe for a moment and then we can see that perfect parachute, right? Who was the sculptor that said, I don't really, I see the finished product inside the stone and I just remove everything that is not not the sculpture. I think that's our skydive. And we have to be able to see it, but we can't see it with a mind that is stunted by fear. And we can't shame ourselves for being afraid, but we can do something about it.